This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow Manchild, Johnny Karlic.
We're going to Blitz and Chips!
We are going to Blips and Chips. It's chips, not chips. Why do I keep saying chips?
I don't know.
Because I think I want, because of blips.
Blips
I
and
want to say
chips.
chips, but it's
No,
not
blips and chips.
It's blips and chips.
Chits, not
Chips.
shits.
I think that's the joke, Johnny. It should be chits, but it sounds like shits.
I believe that's just because you can't pronounce it.
But welcome into the Rick and Johnny podcast. I'm Ricky.
Yeah, you said
That's
it
Johnny.
right.
And we take you through all the nerdy news under the two nerdy suns, whether that's movies, TVs, cartoons, video games, everything right here on one podcast. And Johnny, we have a dandy of a show. Batman suit. We got to react to that. Plus some details about the Batman movie.
Do we?
Yes,
I
we
wanted
do.
to see your reaction.
We have to talk about that. We also have to talk about Sony has set a new Marvel film for October 2021. We're going to kind of speculate what that could be. There's also news about WB going to diminish Harley Quinn's role after the flop of Birds of Prey, and because
Flop? It was good though. Not in the selling.
We want the money.
Yeah, that
money,
sucks.
money. WWE, don't copyright this podcast. I'm sorry, but because it
should
didn't
use a
make
different
as
money.
much money, they might. We're gonna get into it, and then possibly before quick hits, we're gonna maybe, if we've got time, talk about Matthew McConaughey and him playing the Reverse Flash in the Flash movie, because we also have to do our Sonic review. So if you're on YouTube watching this, make sure to check out our Sonic review as well on our YouTube channel. But before we get into everything, make sure to become a patron, help support us. Johnny, let's thank our patrons. I'm going to have to ask you.
Thanks, guys.
To do some producers. Johnny, thank you. Oh, wait, no, I got to do something. If you want to become a patron.
That's the wrong one.
It's called Twitch Thanks. I got to change it on there because it should be Patreon Thanks. But it's Twitch Thanks.
The same difference. It's just I accidentally hit the one below it.
Fully loaded. We'll start momentarily. It wouldn't be a Rick and Johnny podcast if there wasn't a shit show here at the beginning. But if you want to become a patron, make sure to check out patreon.com/most valuable podcast. Those are all our great patrons. We cannot do the work we do without them each and every week.
Oh, there it is now on my screen.
You can click see now, Johnny. We have thanked them.
No.
Let's check one. Number two, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can watch all this shit show happen live and be with us as we are live.
No, you have to watch on Twitch.
Twitch.tv.
Not YouTube. You have to watch
Well, no. If they're on
the
YouTube
people
right
on YouTube.
now, like if they're watching on YouTube
You
now,
realize I'm just making this more of a shit show, right?
Which I appreciate because it plays into our bit.
Man, it's not really a bit.
This is just us being us.
It's not really a bit.
See,
This is just how unorganized we are.
Quick aside,
Hey,
Johnny.
we're back.
Quick aside. This is why I love you. And the reason being is Sean and Dave, maybe lesser on Dave, but more on Sean, would never play into this humor. They would never play into the shit showness that is the opening of our podcast.
Here's how I see it. It's already a shit show. Why not add to it?
Yes. This is how the sausage is made, right?
We don't have one of those machines.
Yeah, I hear that hot dogs are really like not a good process to make. I know that hot dog sausages are a little different, but when you said that machine, that's what I thought of. But
it's a grinder. You can get one for your KitchenAid.
My point
they
being,
have attachments.
If you're on YouTube, you can check us out live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Most Valuable Podcast. We are live every Sunday morning. Yes, they have one to make noodles as well. But Johnny, let's get into our first topic, and it is one that I did not mention in the rundown sheet because it was going to be our first topic, and that is Rogue from X-Men is probably going to be the villain of Captain Marvel 2. And this source is coming from, so the article we're looking at is from We've Got This Covered, but here's what they say about it. They say Scoopster Mikey Sutton is the one to break this story, and his intel points to Kevin Feige wanting to do a lot of Rogue as she's one of his favorite X-Men characters. Dropping her into Captain Marvel 2 first would be a good call to seeing as it's permanently absorbing both Carol Danvers' powers and psyche that causes Rogue to reform and join Xavier's crew in the comics. This could be easily replicated on screen in the film, setting up her return in the X-Men reboot. Sutton claims about Rogue have been backed by both Comic Book News and Lords of the Long Box too. So this isn't coming from just one source. So Johnny, the thing I want to ask about you, because Captain Marvel we will not get until sometime in 2022, I believe. I got to pull up our sheet that I made about where the confirmed Marvel movies are. But the thing I want to ask you is, what is your thought if Marvel decides to take Rogue on a villainy side first and have her be the villain of Captain Marvel 2?
That works because I feel like that's how it originally goes. Mm-hmm. So why not? Mm-hmm. And then the other part is, though, the only thing that comes to my mind is, so you're going to get rid of Captain Marvel that quickly?
That's a thing we're going to discuss in this.
That's my main thought to that is like, so you're going to get rid of Captain Marvel that quickly, huh?
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring that up, because I'll just bring it up right now.
Yeah.
Because there was a tweet so it's Daniel Reichman, and it's the same thing as what we were talking about on Superfans yesterday. There was a tweet that we were looking at on Superfans where Sean said, this is not a reliable source. This is not going to happen. Don't take it seriously. I'm kind of in the same boat here because I don't know why Marvel would want to do this, but Daniel Reichman at Daniel RPK says, love where the MCU is headed diversity-wise. We had an all-white 6 Avengers at first, but down the line, we'll get a Black Captain America, Sam, Spider-Man, Miles, and Captain Marvel, Monica. Asian with Shang-Chi and Circe, and Muslim with Miss Marvel and Blade. The part that I'm looking at is we know Captain Marvel, or Captain America, is going to be Sam. We know Shang-Chi is coming in. Mm-hmm. We know that Mahershala Ali is going to be playing Blade, and we know that they're doing a Miss Marvel Disney Plus TV series. My question is, Spider-Man and Captain Marvel, and we'll get back to the rogueness, because I want to talk about, like, with that, basically this is how they would kind of snowball the X-Men into the MCU. But my thought, since you brought this up first, we'll hit this, is why after 2 movies would you want to, A, replace Tom Holland's Spider-Man? Because I thought the goal was to have Tom Holland's Spider-Man be the Avengers 6, right? Avengers 6 is what we're on? Would be the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the next big Avengers movie, which everything's pointing to Young Avengers, Avengers 5, thank you. Yeah. And Captain Marvel, what, you'd only give Brie Larson 2 movies? Like, this isn't me dampening on the diversity thing. It's what's your plan for the character overall? And with Captain Marvel, I don't really know, because, like, maybe I don't have that strong of a connection to Captain Marvel, but, like, especially with Spider-Man, I look at that and go, yes, it would be awesome to have Miles in the MCU, but why would you have to get rid of one to have the other? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, the Spider-Man video game, I know it's different because it's a video game, they have both Peter and Miles, spoiler if you haven't played it, they have both Peter and Miles alive at the same time. And at the end of the video game, it's Miles has his powers, and he kind of shows Peter, and it's kind of like, okay, the next game is going to be maybe Peter teaching Miles how to use those Spider-Man powers. What's your thought, though, now that I bring this tweet on top of it, what you were saying, like plans for Captain Marvel?
I still kind of thrown off that they're going to kill off I don't want to say kill off per se, but
rewrite, like recast.
They're recasting a superhero so quickly, and that's kind of not the same thing as like recasting Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk or recasting what is his name? Don Cheadle as War Machine. That's not the same thing.
That was contractual.
This is contractual. They just changed the actor. This is hey, we're going to write this character out because from what I know.
It's literally like Cap and Sam.
Yeah. It's a Cap. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's Cap Sam thing. But this is only like.
But I felt like Cap, his arc as a character is completed.
Over. Yeah.
There's nothing more to do with him.
This is like, hey, we're going to. After her second movie, after the third movie she's in.
Yeah.
Being generous when I say that, because how much was she actually in Endgame?
Yeah, good point. Just at the end, basically.
Basically, at the end.
At the beginning is a hologram, basically to say, hey, I've got trouble on other worlds to deal with.
Very beginning, hologram, very end.
Yeah, like you can't deal with this on your own. After she came and crashed the party.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And that's the thing, is
and
like
Thor said, I like this one.
Exactly. So that's the thing. It's like, okay, so we gonna get rid of her that quickly, and I like the way they're doing it because that's one thing I've seen before. Is that's like it's from they even take it from the 1990s cartoon how Rogue got her powers.
Yeah,
she zapped them out of Captain Marvel and I wonder if they're going to go with the full route of she used to be like one of the children of Mystique.
Yes.
And that was when
she was in the Brotherhood of
I don't know if it was called
right?
Brotherhood of Mutants, but I know it's like Mystique ran that group, and she would call her like Mama. It'd be like, yeah, you're all my children. It's almost like hey, I adopted you all.
Yeah, so on the Wikipedia page about it.
Yeah.
It says when Mystique debuts her Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Destiny advises her to keep Rogue out of the action. Advice which proves important when several members of the new Brotherhood are arrested and imprisoned.
Yeah.
Mystique concocts a plan to free the other members of the Brotherhood by having Rogue absorb Miss Marvel's formidable powers.
Yeah.
So maybe the Brotherhood's already a thing. Rogue's kind of on the outside, but Mystique needs to use her to save the others if they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
that the
something along the lines. But it's like, she touches Captain Marvel and just absorbs her powers, and then Mystique's like usually it's a touch and someone's out, but. What happens is Mystique tells her, keep holding.
Yeah, absorb all of that power.
Well, it was more like a keep holding, like take her out. I don't know if Mystique knew that like she'd keep the powers.
Because the animated series did the same thing.
Yeah, they had her touch her, and she's like, it hurts, but it's like, no, keep holding. Didn't realize that it would make her keep the powers.
Yeah, it would make her keep the powers. And didn't in the animated series... She didn't take on any of the personality of Carol Danvers, did she?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because that one, I rewatched that the day Disney Plus came out, but that was months ago.
Excuse me.
But me, the whole thing is I love the Rogue part of this.
I do. I love that part.
Because the most important thing is snowballing these X-Men into it. Because the thing I wanted to bring up is... I actually have a spreadsheet. Did I share the spreadsheet with you? I did. So in your drive, if you ever want to look at it, Johnny, I made a spreadsheet last week. It's called MCU Movie Schedule. And we basically have Phase 4 and Phase 5. Right now, the movies that we have confirmed are obviously Phase 4 is all confirmed, and Black Panther has been confirmed. But what it's looking like right now... is Captain Marvel we won't see until 2023. Right now people are thinking it's going to be the May 5th slot for 2023. Because after Black Panther 2, it looks like Fantastic Four is going to be that July of 2022. They want to do Deadpool in that October. Then Guardians 3 in February of 23. Captain Marvel into... Spider-Man 4 with Blade right around Halloween being the November 3rd movie. But that's a long time. That's a long time until we see this. We don't know what other X-Men characters we're going to see before then because we're going to talk on a future podcast about Guardians 3 possibly having Galactus and Silver Surfer in it. But as I was talking to you before the podcast, I thought Galactus was more of an X-Men guy. You corrected me and said he's more of a Fantastic Four.
I hear about him more from Fantastic Four than I do from the X-Men.
So that would make sense after they do Fantastic Four to have Silver Surfer Galactus then in Guardians 3 because that's after Fantastic Four. But like for the X-Men, it's the rumor is that they being Marvel, like Kevin Feige Marvel, they want to create as much time in between the Fox Marvel people and the MCU Fox or the MCU X-Men because of how bad Dark Phoenix did. It left a sore taste in the fans' mouths. You like to give movies more generous scores, Johnny.
I'm more so thinking about your phrasing.
A bad taste in the fans' mouth.
Yeah, a sore taste.
A sour taste is what I meant to say. I said a sore taste.
It
gave me a sore tongue because I bit it. But no. So they want to create as much time. So this plays into their timeline then. Like, if we're not going to see our first X-Men, and theoretically our first X-Men, until May of 2023... then it's like, how many years is it going to take for that to snowball? Are we not going to see our first X-Men movie until 2025? Do you think it'd be 2 years? Like, Kevin Feige, I forgot your jacket and hat again. I've got to be better with that. But
you've not brought it once.
Kevin Feige, if let's say Rogue is the first X-Men we see, and that's May of 2023, how much of a slow roll are you doing? Because they only want to do 4 movies a year. And Captain Marvel would be movie 2 of 2023. Are you not having that first full X-Men movie until 2025, 2026? Or are you only saying, hey, that next year then we want to do an X-Men movie?
That's a good question. First off, I'm still trying to get up your spreadsheet.
It's not opening?
It's not even in my Google Drive.
I will do this. Do you have your email open?
No. Okay. So I have to go do that right now.
I'll just send it to you. While you answer the question, I'll just send you an email.
So just give me the short version of the question again.
So let's say Rogue's the first X-Men we see. And that's May of 23.
Yeah.
How long are you waiting until you have the first MCU X-Men movie? Is it a year? Is it 2 years?
Honestly,
like, how's that slow roll happening?
So there's one of two ways you can go about it. You can do, hey, we got our first X-Men. This is Rogue. What would be our first X-Men? And then I would feel like you have to have Mystique in there for at least that part of the storyline.
Yeah,
like you don't have to show the others. Besides,
Mystique has to be in Captain Marvel too.
If you're gonna have Rogue, I feel like you have to have Mystique.
Well, if you're gonna have her be the villain, yeah.
And she doesn't even have to be Mystique form. She could be one of her
clones, and not clone, but like her masking.
Yeah, one of her fake forms, like that she does. And it could be just like you can just name everyone else that's already imprisoned or something. I don't know. But other than that, like, I mean, you can do either one of the two things. You can do the slow roll of, okay, we got Rogue in this one, redemption story at the end of it, or we got this person in this one that just tie in somehow. Or you like, if you basically maybe a year or 2 years after makes sense to get your first X-Men movie.
Okay. Because you would be thinking more of like 2025?
2024, 2025, because you have to wait till you got your first X-Men introduced, because that's how I feel like that's how Marvel does it. We kind of introduce them first a little bit
in other movies,
or hint at them or something, and then bam, then we'll throw the movie out there. We don't DC it and throw everyone into one movie first.
So like if Storm's not in a Black Panther 2, maybe she's introduced in a Black Panther 3.
It doesn't even have to be everyone gets introduced. It's just at least one mutant has to be introduced, like that isn't Scarlet Witch or.
How many?
We'll put them off to the side because there is an exception with those two.
And then a follow-up question: how many mutants do you think need to be introduced before?
To be honest, one.
So just one. Just Rogue, and then boom, the X-Men.
Idea of mutants are out there now.
Okay.
She can, at the end, go join the X-Men.
And here's the interesting thing.
That's all you need.
I think the idea of mutants, though, is going to happen way before this. Because there's the idea that in Doctor Strange 2, which is happening 2021. I almost said this year. This year's weird. We only get 2 Marvel movies this year.
Yeah, what is it?
Black Widow in May.
Yeah, it was for
and then Eternals in November. Right. And then we're 4 in 2021.
Yeah, but we got a lot of streaming ones that are coming out, so that could be part of it.
We've got 3 streaming series. Yeah. And either in Doctor Strange 2 or WandaVision, I think it's WandaVision, actually, the more I think about it. There's a rumor that we're going to see the reverse of what happened in the comics. Because in the comics, Scarlet Witch went, no more mutants. And then something happened with the mutants. I'm assuming went all the way. Where this one, Scarlet Witch, is going to be so powerful, it's going to be the opposite. Where something like that same iconic comic book scene happens, but that's the start of mutants in the MCU.
I don't like that.
You don't?
No, I don't. That's a little too cop-outy.
I'm looking up the comic book scene.
I'm just saying, because wasn't the opposite too? Was Vision created the world? Like not that part of it, but like the
Vision.
Or am I thinking of too much of the actual WandaVision part?
You're thinking of there's the Vision comic which I read where Vision created his own family.
Yes, that's what I was.
Yeah, he created a wife, a son, a daughter. That's right. And what happened in it is spoilers for if you haven't read it and want to. But basically what happened is while he was away, I think it's his wife. So this superhero or supervillain comes to kill Vision, but the family's there eating dinner, and the wife kills him. Like literally kills him, like shoots him with her like blast, and he has a fucking hole in his chest. So he's dead. And she buries him in the backyard. And then there's another scene with the son where, it's the wife. The wife goes to see, because what happens is the son, this kid at school comes and like says something to him and basically like lifts him up and chokes him and is like holding him until like the very last second to where like he almost killed this kid. And that kid's dad was basically like, hey, you guys shouldn't be here. Like, basically pay me or I'm making it sure that I'm going to ruin your life kind of a thing. And the wife goes to his house to basically scare him and say, like, hey, back off. And what happens is the kid comes down. I think the kid had the gun. No. Something happens where that's it. The dad shoots at her, and she phases.
And he kills his own son.
And he kills his own son, shoots him right in the head without knowing.
Oh.
And then he sees, like, holy shit, I shot my son, kind of a situation. It's very dark in that sense. Of like, when I was reading, I was like, holy shit, I didn't expect that to happen. But the comic book scene I'm thinking about is, from the panels here, you've got Scarlet Witch says no more mutants. Then you have all the mutants, Doctor Strange, Quicksilver. Boom. Everything's just kind of disappearing. So she takes away all mutants. So the rumor is that in WandaVision, something like that is going to happen. Doctor Strange isn't a
mutant.
Well, it's a panel of him, and there's just electricity around him. So maybe in the comics, they do consider him a mutant.
That's weird.
Which is weird because he's not a mutant.
Yeah.
Soapy said something. Soapy, Ricky, do you want me to put in a change to reminding you to check it? I just gotta buy it. That's all I gotta do. You just gotta give me your like suit size.
Yeah.
And I'll buy you like
48 large.
48 large.
Yeah.
All right. I'll find a cheap one.
Yeah.
Like not super cheap, but like I'm not buying it like the $200 suit coat kind of thing.
Yeah, but Kevin Feige gets a $200 suit coat.
Yeah, I also got to get you the
hat.
So I want different hats.
Okay.
So like if it's a Fantastic Four question, because he's got a Fantastic Four hat, he's got his plain Marvel hat, he's got his Black Widow hat that he wears.
You can start with just the plain Marvel one and then work your way out. So you don't have to buy
the hats are not
all
the
these
problem.
hats.
The hats are the cheap part. It's the suit jacket that I think is going to be the most. Because you're wearing jeans, right?
I'm wearing jeans. I always wear jeans.
So you've got jeans. I don't have to buy that part for you.
Yeah, I know. I always wear jeans.
We just got to get you. And then we can hang it up here and you can just take it down.
Yeah.
Whenever you need to wear
it. Retire the Daryl Dixon vest.
Yeah, we haven't talked Walking Dead in a while.
Yeah,
you started to watch it. I didn't. Final thoughts on this, though. Good, bad, ugly?
So, okay. We got none of Miles Morales in here, by the way.
So, do you want to hit that then?
We can
do you want to save that for the Sony discussion?
Let's save it for the Sony discussion.
Okay.
We can bring it back in.
Okay.
I like that they're bringing Rogan. I think it's kind of quick that they're what they're doing to Captain Marvel, but maybe they have a different plan going on.
Because we're supposed to get Monica, and Monica is Monica Rambeau.
I don't know how I feel about that just because...
We're supposed to get her... What series is she in? She's in... I think it's...
WandaVision.
Is it WandaVision?
You told me WandaVision.
It's one of them where she's a sword agent.
Yeah, but it's like, how does she get powers then?
Yes, exactly.
I feel like if you're going to be Captain Marvel, you need powers, or else you can get your ass handed to you. Excuse me. But anyways, kind of quick that they're getting rid of Captain Marvel, but maybe they have a plan on the side for that. For that. Kind of, I think it's a good way to start. One good way to start showing mutants. If they want to, they can do, like I was saying earlier, they can do one of two ways. You can start like adding one, trickling them in there, or here's your mutants. Hey, this is now part of the MCU because I don't count Wanda or
Vision or Doctor Strange.
No. What's the other one? Wanda and her brother Quicksilver. I don't consider them only because of the fact that they weren't introduced as mutants.
Good point.
So I won't count them. But if like this will be your first like, hey, mutants. And then you can either trickle them in or, hey, we got our one mutant that's cementing them in the MCU. Now we can throw in the movie and like tie it in with Rogue. So there you go. It could be like after credit scene is her going to the X-Men mansion to seek asylum.
And then that's where you get the X-Men are a thing.
Xavier comes out, greets her, and say, yeah, anyone's welcome.
And then they're boom in the universe.
Yeah. Like, you don't even need the rest of them. You just have Rogue. So you only need 3 of them in this movie. You need Rogue. You need...
Mystique,
thank you. Oh, God, I forgot her name for a minute. And you need Charles.
That's it.
Yeah.
And with Mystique...
2 of those?
So
very minor. Very minorly needed.
My quick question about Mystique before we move on.
Yes, sir.
Does she need to be... Because in the comics, she's heavily in it.
Yes.
Can you get away with her being kind of like the influence at the beginning and then having Rogue be the main villain? Like, or do you have to have Mystique and Rogue be equally, like screen time wise is what I'm saying.
Screen time, I don't think you need to have them in there. Screen time wise. You can
just let Rogue be the villain, but
villain, and then
Mystique gave the nudge kind of.
Mystique is the one pushing it, and then Rogue realizing, no, this is all bad. Maybe like filling in like the Captain Marvel style and realizing she needs help. At the very end,
I've only got one request for Rogue in the MCU. One request. It won't happen. I know it won't happen, but I want
Southern
it to
accent.
Give me a thick Southern accent for Rogue, and when you get Gambit in here, he's got to have that thick Narlands accent.
Yep,
he's got to. What did he used to call a lot of people in the nickname that he would call mainly Wolverine to piss him off? Or annoy him.
I couldn't remember.
Oh, I can't remember.
I know that.
Now I gotta go back. Now I'm gonna go
Wolverine
back and
called him
X-Men.
Cajun all the time.
Yes, Cajun. That thick Cajun accent. That's all I want.
I'm saying though, that's
the only things that
that's
I
what
want.
I know. That's what Wolverine called him. I don't remember what he called Wolverine.
Yeah,
or
I gotta
anyone
go
else, for
back
that matter.
and watch it. But for those of you on YouTube, let us know what you're thinking down below, and also in Twitch chat, let us know what you're thinking. But we gotta move on. DC. Batman, holy shit. Yes, we do.
Like doing that to you.
So what this basically was is this was Matt Reeves and the DC crew trying to get in front of the paparazzi fodder because they're filming the Batman right now. They're going to be outside with the suit. This was basically them saying, hey, we want to give you a look at the suit with a high quality so you're not looking at potato pictures from cell phones and stuff.
Potato pictures.
If you have not seen it, go onto YouTube, type in the Batman suit reveal. It's basically just the theme that they're going to use at some point in the movie. That's like the actual theme that was composed for the movie. You get a shot of the front. You get a good shot at the like shoulder pad because when he's breathing, it looks like, to me, it looks like the actual, and I'm moving my shoulders because of it. It looks like right here and then the shoulder pad are very independent. So it looks like there's more movement in this bat suit.
Yeah.
And then you get to see Pattinson in the cowl, which it looks more leathery to me. It looks like you can see under like where the end of it ends here by his face. You can actually see some of the stitching around it. So it looks like it's going to be one that he can pull off.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you remember Batman from the animated series and stuff, where he can pull it off
and over
and have it back or pull it back onto his face, kind of a thing.
Which, good.
I love it. I absolutely am in love with it.
It's a little change from like even the animated series. The collar part of it doesn't look attached like in the animated series.
Like
it's
you
not
can take the cape off.
It's not like all one solid piece, like down to the shoulders. It's like a collar around the cowl. So it's like it's not like all the '90s Batmans where it's all one piece. So I have to move like this to see next to me.
The Michael Keaton. Where he's got to like move his whole body to look. It looks like...
it looks like he can actually...
He can do like one of these and move around and stuff. Which, let's be honest, we're making a Batman in 2020, 2021. Can we not
just got to see us doing the shoulder.
Can we not get a Batman that can like move around? So Sam says, the suit looks fine. The question is, Robert Pattinson going to pull off playing Batman? Here's the thing I've heard about Robert Pattinson is... A lot of people, myself included, only think of him as Twilight. But apparently, and I say apparently because I haven't watched a lot of films of him after Twilight.
Same.
Apparently, all the Robert Pattinson stans are like, guys, he's going to do fine. He's going to do a great job with this because he's done movies. Even in our comment section, when we talked about Robert Pattinson getting the role, there was someone in that comment section that said, well, you should check out those movies he's been in because he's really good in those movies.
Yeah, and the thing was, like, I want to state that we didn't, like, bash on him for us. Like, we were just...
Batman's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, but still, you weren't even bashing on Pattinson for getting
questioning.
You were questioning, but you weren't bashing.
No, I was questioning.
We were just like, I don't know how he's going to do. We were just on this point of, we've never seen him in anything else except really Twilight, and I think we had one other that you knew him from.
I think so. I'll pull up his IMDb again.
Anyways.
But that to me is like I'm not gonna worry about that because he's already casted. I'm gonna wait to see what it's like because this Batman is different than the Batmans that we've seen before. This is not an origin. From what I hear, it's not an origin story, but it's a very younger Batman. It's a younger Batman. It's the similar story of the first Halloween, basically, or Long Halloween, which I'm in the middle of reading right now. I started reading it over winter break. I'm looking for time. Hopefully, I can get some time in the next few weeks to finish it. But basically, the gist of the Long Halloween is a murder happens, and it's basically Detective Batman, where he's got to go through, and it's basically him going through his rogues gallery, paying them visits on this Halloween, trying to figure out who the killer is, who's the one doing it. And the cool thing I think about this suit, before we get a little bit into the story and stuff, is if you look at the actual suit itself in the front, I didn't see this at first. I got to give the hat tip to Charlie, who's Emergency Awesome on YouTube. Way bigger on YouTube than us, but he does a great job with this stuff. He said if you look at the Batman symbol in the middle, like the two sides coming out, they look like two handles of or like a handle of a pistol that was slit down the edge.
Yeah, it looks like he took the pistol, cut it down the middle.
That's what they're saying.
And kind of fanned it open, and then kind of tapered it to look more like the Batman symbol.
So to me, that's very interesting. If that's true, a Batman that is... Because we know that Batman used the death of his parents and all that to basically become the Batman. It drove him into becoming Batman. To then go that extra level and have it be like, well, I'm using... like I have a constant reminder of what happened on my chest each and every night. I'll be honest, my first look at the bat symbol was like, that's kind of a weak bat symbol. And the only reason I said that was, in my mind, I'm thinking like, at first I'm like, it doesn't even look like the bat symbol. It doesn't even look like a bat. But the more I thought about it, it's like, if this is a younger Batman, this is probably a Batman that hasn't been doing this long enough to have a rogues gallery, but not long enough to be the bat, because we're used to older Batmans. We are. Like Ben Affleck was the oldest Batman, I want to say, that we've had, like character wise on the screen. He was the older Batman. And the villains I want to get into, because Sam in Twitch chat asks about it. So there's going to be multiple villains in it. The thing that we have is apparently Matthew McConaughey was in the run to be the Penguin, I think.
Yeah, but it went to Colin Farrell.
No, not the Penguin. He was...
Colin Farrell's going to be Penguin.
Yes,
and he's put on the weight for it.
It's going to be Penguin. You've got Paul Dini is going to be the Riddler.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey was going to be Two-Face, but they cut the Two-Face role out of the movie. So we know Penguin's going to be in it. We know the Riddler. We know Catwoman, who's going to be...
Falcone's going to be in it.
Falcone, who's going to be played by You Don't Mess with the Jesus. I can't think of the actor's name.
John Turturro.
Yes. Which, by the way, side note, they are coming off with a... Were you a Big Lebowski guy?
Never watched it.
They are coming out with a movie spin-off...
Of him.
And I don't know how I feel about it. I watched it, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But we know Catwoman, Riddler, Penguin, Falcone is going to be in it. Andy Serkis is going to be
apparently
Alfred.
Apparently, Con O'Neill, I don't know who that really is off the top of my head. Lord of the Rings, Chernobyl, The Tunnel, is going to be in it, but he's unnamed.
Yeah.
Of what a character, so.
The only villain that people are like, how can you have a Batman film and not have him? And this is what I wanted to bring up. Part 2 of this.
Yeah.
Get a little bit into the story. According to We Got This Covered, the Batman will reportedly tease the arrival of the Joker. Here's what they say in their article. We're hearing from our source that the DC pick will reportedly tease the arrival of the Joker. He won't be seen, but apparently at one point in the film, audiences will hear some low-level criminals discussing the fact that they work with the iconic villain. And I kind of like this. I don't know if it's going to be the Joaquin Phoenix Joker or if they would do a different Joker. It's unclear that if it's going to be the Jared Leto, because we don't know what's going on with the Jared Leto Joker. We don't know what their plans are with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. If that's just going to be its own little thing and it's kind of like that's Earth 2 and this is Earth 1. We don't even know if this Batman is going to be
tied in with the main
in with the main Justice League.
Yeah.
Here's my theory on it. You ready about this? We're obviously in my mind going to get the Flash before Batman 2. We're going to get the Flash before a Justice League.
Yes.
What I think they are going to do is they'll mention the Joker. They'll mention some thugs talking about they're working with him. So hey, he's in the universe.
Yeah.
But what's the main story that they're going to do for The Flash? Love or hate Ezra Miller aside, sorry, Dave. What's the main story they're going to do? Do you remember?
Oh, for
the
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
Yeah.
What you can have is you do that movie, and then basically because that movie happened, it messed with the continuity or it messed with the universe.
Kind of re-script the timeline.
Then you can basically use that to, all right, Robert Pattinson's our Batman. Okay, Joaquin Phoenix is our Joker. If you want to do that.
Yeah,
and you can use Flashpoint as the MacGuffin to basically change the universe because he's fucking with time.
Is that not what I've said every time we brought it up?
Oh, I know.
That Flashpoint is the perfect thing for that. Flashpoint is the perfect one to do that with because all you have to do is he goes back in time. The second he comes back, time ripple, it's fucked with time already. Yeah. So it's not like it's not going to happen.
And the thing that I'm thinking about, I can't remember if they had answered this question. Did they answer the question about Justice League, or was it BVS, where Bruce is having the dream and Barry comes out, Bruce, and he's like got a like different uniform on?
Yeah.
So that can't be tied into Flashpoint.
No.
That was something else.
That's something else.
Okay.
That's more like, something when he comes back from the future to try and warn him.
And I agree with Soapy. He said, random note, I want a Mr. Freeze movie.
That would be cool.
We had talked about that in the past, I know.
Yeah.
We did a segment on, but the thing I like with this is they're having multiple villains, but the thing about it is they're not blowing their load all in one movie. Like, originally Two-Face was supposed to be in this. Matthew McConaughey was the lead for that role. They decided to cut it because they're going to have they're going to have a different DA.
Yeah.
They're going to have the DA that it was. I think it's DA No, it's
I have it up. Hold on.
Police Commissioner Savage, I think, because Gordon, who's played by Jeffrey. He's
Jeffrey Wright.
Yes, he was in.
It's gonna be James Gordon.
Yes, he's gonna be the Watcher in the Marvel What If.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he's gonna be the Watcher, but he was from Westworld.
But yeah, you're gonna have Commissioner Pete Savage.
Mm-hmm. Sam also says that's what happened in the CW Arrowverse shows.
District Attorney Gil Colson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Gil Colson. So I like that because you can then introduce Harvey.
Yeah.
You can because I think, I'm trying to think Long Halloween, because like I said, right now I'm reading it. I think it's Harvey Dent that basically Harvey's in it. Some villain blows up his house with trying to kill him and his wife. And then basically he's going to Deputy Macho Man Randy said, the cream always rises to the top, Commissioner Gordon, or Lieutenant Gordon, because it's going to be Lieutenant Gordon in this, not Commissioner Gordon. Tried to do my best. Macho Man Randy said, oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim. Cream always rises to the... Could you imagine there's most kids that were not into wrestling that are our age that only remember him as the snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh man, I miss Randy Savage. R.I.P. man. But the thing I want to ask you about is the other interesting note I saw. Apparently, and this is yet again, we got this covered, got the scoop. For a while now, there have been whispers about Robin potentially showing up in Robert Pattinson's debut as the Dark Knight. And sources close to We've Got This Covered say that the sidekick is indeed in the film. Don't expect a prolonged role from the hero, though, as we're hearing that he'll only drop by for a brief cameo. The purpose of this would obviously be to set up a bigger place for him in the franchise moving forward, likely his own spin-off at some point. And yes, this would be the Grayson version rather than Jason Todd or Tim Drake. I want to ask you about that. Should they do this? If this is indeed true, should they, even if it's a brief, like I'm thinking from the video games, the Arkham video games, where Robin came in at one point, had a little conversation with Batman, and then he's gone.
Brief at most. Like
he's in, they have a conversation, he maybe helps out with one thing, and then boom, Robin's not in the rest of it.
Brief at most.
Okay.
This should be about Batman. This should be about our new Batman and his rogues gallery. It should really not have a lot to do with Robin. So have at most, especially if he's supposed to be a new Batman.
Well, a newer Batman.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
A fresher Batman.
There you go.
Not like brand new off the street.
No, it's not like year one Batman.
Yeah, well, close.
But it's not year one Batman.
Yeah, it's close though in the sense that it's Lieutenant Gordon, not Commissioner.
Yeah, but
Gordon.
I'm saying it's not like it's our year one Batman
like
where
actually
doesn't have a suit or anything, gets his ass kicked in a alley fight.
Exactly.
It's got to be like
not like the Christopher Nolan where it's Batman child
seasoned.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want a seasoned. This isn't a necessarily seasoned Batman. It's like, okay, I have my rogues gallery. They're probably fairly new rogues gallery.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, this is why he's got to do detective work. He doesn't know their habits 100% yet. Obviously, Batman knows their habits fairly well after, like when he's seasoned with them. But so this is going to be, I would see like, what am I trying to think of? Say like, if we have a Robin, it is brief at best of like, hey Batman, I've got this intel for you about this.
Yeah.
That you asked me to get you. It was the most I would want of him. And maybe help him get out of like one situation. That's it. And
before I hit Sam's point in Twitch chat, because I really do want to hit that, I want to give my 2 cents about the Robin thing. There's only one way I want... There's only one reason I want Robin to make a brief cameo.
Yeah.
And that's because I know we've got the Titan stuff going on DC Universe, which I'm absolutely in love with. But yet again, that Robin doesn't need to be the same Robin here. You can have different ones, and they can be their own continuities.
Yeah.
But the thing I would absolutely love is you set up Robin in this universe, and it doesn't have to happen right away. Like, you can have him then in the second Batman if you want to as well.
Have him as more of a role in the second Batman.
But my solo Robin film would be basically his transformation from Robin to Nightwing.
Yeah.
Like a Nightwing movie where Robin becomes Nightwing.
That's not a bad idea.
And that's why I love that this said it would be the Dick Grayson version. The Dick Grayson version.
So here's what I would think to do then is for that scenario, have him as like a little cameo slip in this one. Have him more of a prominent role in the second one. Third movie he's in is his own.
Because apparently Matt Reeves is getting a trilogy. He is getting 3 movies to work on with Batman.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson.
Third one would be a standalone Robin / Nightwing movie for that one. Then Robert Pattinson can have his own third Batman movie.
So Soapy brings up a good point.
See.
Do you guys think, and I kind of gave my thought on this, but I can give a better reasoning to this. Do you guys think they should choose a specific Robin? So make the point of that it's Dick Grayson, that it's Jason Todd, that it's Tim Drake, or should they just leave him referenced as Robin?
Honestly, I don't know if it matters in this first one.
I think it does.
You think so?
Go ahead, yeah.
Only because
what's up, Lone Wanderer? Said hey in Twitch chat. I think it does, but go ahead.
To me, it's like, okay, this first one is just like, he needs to be a cameo. The second one is when he actually needs to play more of a prominent role. That's when we can get this is Dick Grayson.
Well, and to go...
Because I don't want to take too much away from... We want to focus on Batman and his rogues gallery in this one. That's what I want to focus on. So,
to go off of Sam's point, too, Sam says, that was the biggest criticism of the Dark Knight trilogy. No, the biggest criticism, and this is a sore spot for me, because I absolutely hated the third Batman. I hated the one with Bane in it. It was how they did it. Like, you kind of felt that Gordon Levitt's character was going to be Robin, but like the way they did it of like at the end, oh, why don't you go by your first name of Robin? It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, if you're going to do Robin, do Robin. And here's the thought of why I think it's important for them to have it be a specific Robin is because the Robin character has a story arc in it. Like the actual name of Robin has a story arc, and also each character has their own story arc. Where because this is a fresh Batman, and I'm saying like not seasoned vet Batman. You can't have it be Jason Todd because you can't. Well, you can't have it for sure be Tim Drake because Tim Drake is Batman has gone through Dick Grayson leaving him, Jason Todd dying. If you haven't introduced the Joker, like if you're not going to have the Joker in this film, you can't have it be Jason Todd.
No,
because the Batman needs to, in my mind, fight the Joker a little bit before you can do a death in the family type of thing, and then. 2, having a Nightwing movie would be awesome, would be amazing. And you don't set that up unless you set up a Dick Grayson as Robin in this. Because the rest of the Batmans, like, this is also, yet again, coming from Twitch chat. There's a lot of, Sam and Soapy are throwing a lot at us, which I love. But the thing you got to think about with Batman, and I think this is because Sam said, are you upset that they're not using underutilized villains? Batman movies have been weirdly done, except for like the Christopher Nolan ones, because you've got Joker. Joker's a must. Two-Face is a must. Bane was gonna be cool. It's not Tom Hardy's fault.
I think Sam has a problem with my role.
Who has a problem with your role? Sam? You're talking about Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Sean.
I said Sam.
Did you? It sounds like Sean.
Well, because I have my mouth covered. I'm doing
I was
Bane.
like, Sean's not here. Penguin, Lone Wanderer, Penguin is going to be in the Batman.
So he's going to be played by Colin Farrell.
But like the thing that I think is, you look at the Tim Burton ones, and we've had how many Jokers have we had now? 4. Nicholson.
You're talking about those
yes,
two. Okay,
Nicholson,
yeah, that's 4 then.
Heath Ledger, Phoenix, Jared Leto. We've had 4 Jokers. We're now going to have 2 Penguins. Yeah. We're now going to have 2 Riddlers. We had a Mr. Freeze in and the 90s Batmans were interesting. Like I loved them as a kid, but looking back on them, you're like, these are not good movies at
They're
all.
more of a I get to sit and laugh at these.
Bat Nips and the Bat Credit Card.
We're not going to mention the ice puns.
Bane gave us some nice memes. Freeze you later. Or what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Yes. Oh, man.
I need you to chill out.
Yes. And it was great that they got Arnold to do that role. But for me, Firefly would be amazing. I feel like they are going to hit some of these.
I want to see his list again.
But the thing...
I think Mad Hatter would be a good one to play into this movie.
Mad Hatter would be an awesome... Because here's the thing you got to think about.
I want mind games.
We had Tim Burton, Batman, which was basically how noir... Like, he hit more of the creepy noir style of Batman.
He did the whole...
And that was, I believe, the Michael Keaton Batmans were Tim Burton. That was Michael Keaton because
not all of them were Michael Keaton.
No, I know, but the Tim Burton
Michael Keaton was one of them.
No, I'm saying though the Tim Burton Batman was Michael Keaton.
Yes.
Val Kilmer was Batman. That was the one with Catwoman and Penguin, and then you had. The one that we know, which is George Clooney, that one was just campy Batman. Like, it was a 90s movie. Like, it wasn't supposed to take itself seriously.
Back hard.
It was more for kids, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then Christopher Nolan.
It's supposed to be family.
Christopher Nolan was really, to me, the first, like, okay, this is a universe. We're setting up
rough and tumble
a story.
Batman.
And Batman Begins, they had to set it up with... Because... They didn't want to do the same mistake they did before. They didn't want to just throw the Joker at you right away, which I like. Don't throw the Joker at me right away. Look at what Marvel did. in Spider-Man Homecoming, did they give us Green Goblin?
Hell no.
No, we're setting up
We got
that
the Vulture.
slow roll. Exactly. We're setting up.
We didn't get Spider-Man's biggest villains of Doc Ock or
exactly, and that's why I feel like the Batman,
the Green Goblin, like you said. We got
Matt Reeves is going off a different story than Homecoming, obviously, than the Spider-Man stuff. Because the Long Halloween has a lot of villains in it. Mm-hmm. We don't know if there's going to be other villains that cameo in this that they're keeping secret. But I look at it.
They could be trying to keep it hush-hush for now.
Exactly. And that's
the thing. The other part, too, just because they're going off the Long Halloween doesn't mean they have to do those villains.
Yes, and exactly, like they're not going to have Two-Face in this.
Yeah, exactly.
Joker's in the Long Halloween, but he's just going to be referenced in this movie. Mm-hmm. It's just that's where the emphasis, not the emphasis, the strong reference. That's what it's coming from, but Matt Reeves is making it his own.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this movie. I want to see it so bad, not just because I'm a Batman fan, but like what I was finishing here to finish off the Batman stuff is the Christopher Nolan Batman was its own trilogy. That was kind of its own little world. Mm-hmm. Then, like, I feel like the Ben Affleck Batman never really got his own movie. He never really got his own movie to be like, this is my Batman. He never really got his
time to shine.
Because the first movie we saw him in was Batman versus Superman, which he's supposed to be like a more armored Batman, older Batman. And then Justice League. And then Ben Affleck was supposed to direct and star in a Batman film, but there was so much controversy over the script and what Warner Brothers wanted to do and what he wanted to do. And basically at the end, it's like everything happened with the DC where Warner Brothers was like the match, set it all on fire, we're rebooting this shit.
They threw it in the garbage can and set it on fire.
Exactly. And they brought in Matt Reeves, and now we have the Robert Pattinson Batman. So I can't wait for it. Obviously, as a Batman fan, I'm super excited for it. But we'll just have to wait and see what it's like. Because I think that movie comes out 2021.
Gotcha.
Is when we're going to see that one. But moving on, another movie we're going to see in 2021 is a Sony Spider-Man movie. And the big question is, Johnny, I'll just ask you, what do you think this is going to be? There are people speculating that it could be a Jessica Drew movie. Some are saying it's a Silk movie. Some are saying it's going to be cool. A Into the Spider-Verse live action movie. What's your thought? What do you think Sony's doing here? October of 2021. Because we're going to get Morbius. We're going to get Venom 2 by that point.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, Silk would be cool, but I don't think we're going to just dive into Silk.
Because apparently the Silk character is Cindy something. Apparently in MCU Homecoming 1, there was a classmate that had the same name. But then she didn't appear in Far From Home. So many fans are looking at that like, were they going to reference Silk, but then didn't? There's rumors of them looking for an actress for Jessica Drew, who is Spider-Woman. There's also the abandoned idea of Silver and Black that we don't know if they're still going to do that Black Cat Silver Sable story. There's the Sinister Six movie. There's Kraven the Hunter, but I don't know how far along they are in that. If you're Sony, what are you thinking about? Like, what is your plan for that movie? Because all we know is that Morbius and Venom are going to happen, and then it's going to be that movie that comes out in October 2021.
So we got Morbius, Venom 2. See, I'm wondering if it's sort of finally their time to pull Tom Holland back and use him for a movie, whether it be because they said it's a Spider-Man movie, so and not just like, hey, this is our Spider-Man universe movie.
It's a second one. It's not a Spider-Man movie. It's a universe movie, but it could be a Spider-Man movie. We don't know. We just know that it's going to be a movie set in Sony's Spider-Man universe.
Okay, so we don't know it's actually Spider-Man.
Yeah, according to superherohype.com. However, the hot rumor at the moment is that Sony wants to make a Spider-Woman movie. In the comics, Jessica Drew was the first Spider-Woman, and her origin was separate from Spidey's. Spider-Woman was also a prominent member of the Avengers before her modern relaunch.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, do you think that's the case? Do you think that this is going to be, hey, we did Venom, we're doing Morbius, yeah, we have an idea for Kraven, but hey, we want to set this universe up. We need another Spider-Man. We did Miles Morales in the animated side. Eventually, we want to bring him to live action. Let's do Spider-Woman. Let's get the female Spider-Man out there.
If they want to do Spider-Woman, that wouldn't be a bad one to do. They could do...
There's the idea of doing Spider-Gwen. But I don't know how...
She's also in the Spider-Verse, though.
That's why I wouldn't touch her. I'd leave her and Haley Steinfeld right now animated.
Yeah. I'm not sure, honestly, at this point, what to do, because, I mean... I don't want to say Sinister Six without having Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't want to say maybe Kraven's Last Hunt would be a cool one to go off of, but I feel like I would rather tie that into the MCU's third Spider-Man film.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so let them save it for that. Because I feel like, aren't they starting to tie them in together?
What, the
MCU and the Sony, sort of?
I think it's more of a...
So that's what it seems like they're starting to do.
Well, I think from my point of view, it's looking like, hey, Sony, you can reference Spider-Man stuff. Like, Spider-Man did this in the MCU. You can reference that, but we don't want to bring Venom into the MCU. We don't want to bring Morbius into the MCU just yet.
That's a just yet.
Like, I still feel like there's a, like, waiting out period, because... To me, I feel like MCU still wants to see how Venom 2 is going to do, how Morbius is going to do.
Yes.
Because if Morbius flops, why would they bring him in to fight Mahershala Ali?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's still that, and plus I feel like there's still that kind of little bit of tension between the last deal that they did.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney, basically everything we've talked about before with them trying to get the Spider-Man character for themselves.
Yeah, so that might be the thing, is they might be trying to play nice and like slowly absorb the Spider-Man universe. Like, hey, yeah, you gotta work with us because you're tying in with our thing now.
Yeah, you're saying MCU is saying, like, Sony, you gotta play nice.
Yeah, well, both of them have to play nice with each other, and MCU's playing nice right now.
Yeah.
And start on their side of things going, yeah, we'll start kind of ebbing and flowing with you. We got you, like, the Vulture being, or at least Michael Keaton. I don't know
in Morbius.
In Morbius. A hint of that. And wasn't there one other that there was a hint of that in Morbius, or what am I just...
You're thinking of the poster. The poster, Sam Raimi poster that we talked about.
So, I mean, it could just be... I'm trying to think. It could be the... Well, because it's Venom 2 actually Venom versus Carnage? Or is it not verified
It's called
yet?
Venom 2, but it's going to be Carnage's introduction into their universe.
Okay.
So it's not going to be... It's not going to strictly be Venom versus Carnage.
Carnal.
But they're going to be building up to what's the storyline? Not Absolute Carnage. What am I thinking? Carnage's main storyline. What's that called? Why am I
don't remember.
What is it called? Why am I... Absolute Carnage. That's what I'm thinking about. The big Carnage storyline from the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So Venom 2 is supposed to be like Eddie Brock goes to interview what's his name? Cassidy. And something happens where the symbiote gets split.
Little piece comes off.
Bam. Carnage is in the universe kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be like strictly like Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus Predator type of thing.
Yeah, so I wonder, like, so we saw at the end him going to interview Cassidy.
Yes.
And I feel like that might be the introduction where maybe he'll end where he kind of gets his ass kicked and has to kind of like...
Maybe.
Go, like, that's the Venom 2 ending.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get third Venom where it's Spider... Because doesn't Spider-Man have to help him out to beat Carnage?
I think so, yeah.
You read more of the Spider-Man stuff than I do, to be honest.
I believe in the absolute carnage stuff. Spider-Man. Eventually, Spider-Man has to be in it. Venom cannot beat Carnage alone.
Yeah, no, that would be...
Because even in the animated series, he needed Spider-Man
to help beat Carnage. Mm-hmm. So that would be the thing. Maybe that's where the third one comes in. Maybe that's finally where we get Spider-Man added is in Venom 2. But I feel like that would be... I don't know, because it feels like it's kind of short of a movie if we don't have Venom versus Carnage in there necessarily.
Because right now we're supposed to have Morbius is first. We're going to be watching Morbius end of July. July 31st, 2020, you and I are going to be sitting in a theater watching Morbius. Woo! Then, in October 2nd of this year, you and I are going to be sitting down watching a movie about Venom and Carnage. So both of those movies are happening this year. My other thought is, this is October 2021. Are they not going to, so, let's see. Okay, no, that makes sense. So we're not going to see another Sony movie because in 2021, the two movies then will be Spider-Man 3, which will be an MCU Sony movie, but still a Sony movie. So they're not going to do a third, that's an MCU thing. We're over here. No, Spider-Man 3 will be July of 2020. Mm-hmm. And then this is the
2020 or 2021?
2021.
There you go. Just want to make sure.
Thank you for correcting me.
No problem.
It's July 16th of 2021.
Okay.
And then this will be the October. So it looks like Sony's kind of setting up for a 2-movie thing? What is Twitch chat making fun of me?
Soapy Muffins, Venom versus Cardinal Sins.
Venom versus the Cardinal Sin. Oh, man. I can't wait to see what Carnage looks like. I was shocked when I saw the Venom symbiote for the first time. I can't wait to see what they do with the Carnage symbiote. Right. And the thing I cannot wait for is Andy Serkis being the director of this. How, think of him and how crazy he was as Ulysses Claw. Think about his acting as Gollum in Lord of the Rings. If he can help Woody Harrelson, who is a great actor in his own right.
Yeah. With the
get the most out of him when he's actually Carnage.
As the
holy shit.
Get the most out of him for his mocap.
Holy shit. This could be a really good, because Venom 1 did really well.
Yeah.
Venom 2 I expect to be better. There's also the rumor, and I want to ask you this. We've talked about it before, but really quickly before we move on, is the sense of, if you are Sony, there are rumors that they want to do live action Into the Spider-Verse with all 3 Spider-Men, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield.
That'd be a cool one to do too.
And Tom Holland. How close do you think we are to that?
I think we still got some time.
I
think we got at least wait till after that third Spider-Man movie.
Because apparently the rumors are that Sony really wants to bring back Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Because they feel like they did him dirty.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, those movies weren't great, but then after 2, he was supposed to get one more, and they were like, by the way, we're rebooting the franchise.
Bye!
Andrew Garfield is the Ben Affleck of the Spider-Man franchise.
Basically.
Yeah.
But
Except he got 2 solo movies.
He got 2
Ben
solo
Affleck
movies.
didn't even get a solo movie.
No, he got 2 parts. He got to be in 2 movies.
Yeah.
So I would say that would be after we get the Spider-Man 3 movie from Disney.
Okay.
Just because, you know what, that's kind of... isn't that where the contract is kind of up? Because it was a pretty short contract this time?
I don't think so.
I thought it was... This is you can have them for 2
more movies, which would be...
I don't know if Endgame counted as one of those. No, it didn't.
No. So Spider-Man 3 and then Spider-Man 4 is going to be in 2023.
So I think it's at least after the third one.
Okay.
We're going to at least wait till after that.
After 2023 is what you're saying?
Is that where the...
That'd be Spider-Man 4.
No, after Spider-Man 3.
So 2021.
Before we even start thinking about it.
Okay, so in the middle of this MCU Sony deal.
Yeah, okay. It might be in the middle or it might be after, but I'm saying it's definitely after Spider-Man 3.
Because also, you got to think about it this way. Tom Holland, I know he loves playing Spider-Man. We're seeing him a lot more. He's in Pixar's Onward. Is it Pixar? DreamWorks.
DreamWorks Onward.
He's going to be Nathan Drake in Uncharted. He did that spy movie with Will Smith.
Yeah, he also did Doolittle.
Yes, he did a voice
one of the animal voices in Doolittle.
So, I mean, Tom Holland's getting some acting gigs.
Yeah.
Where eventually are we going to be to the point where Tom Holland, I know he loves doing Spider-Man, and I don't think this would happen, but eventually is it going to be like, hey, it's my time to walk away from the character, and then Sony has to find a new Spider-Man before they can bring Spider-Man back into their universe.
I feel like he would probably, for now, it seems like he really wants to be part of it, and like, so I say for now, let it ride, and I mean, I would have a hard time believing a lot of these people that want to walk away that badly, especially like someone who seems to love his role and is that beloved of a character.
Yeah, good point.
But also, it just seems like he's got to be at least contracted for those two of those movies. Sorry, my computer's about to die.
Yeah, it's okay. You do you, bruh. We're gonna move on. The last thing I want to hit in this podcast.
Did I say it was done?
So the reason why I want to hit it is because we didn't give our Birds of Prey review. We can kind of give our pseudo review, our thoughts of it.
Give you a pseudo review.
We can also give our show stealer and ranking because we didn't give a full blown review in the last week because you had work, which that work getting in the way, Johnny. It's just getting in the way.
Well, gotta make that money,
bills, right? But there are rumors that WB may diminish Harley Quinn's role in the DCEU after Birds of Prey flops. Was something going on? Something happened?
I heard something. I don't know what it was.
It was probably my fart because I just farted.
You son of a bitch.
So I was hoping it didn't pick up, but they always pick up.
Something picked up. It sounded like a rattling.
Yes, that was my fart.
Side note, I got a text message from... Should I make fun of this on the air?
Up to you. Is it Ron?
It's political shit.
Sure, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Paige from Mike Bloomberg's campaign. With so much at stake, America deserves a Democratic candidate who can beat Donald Trump. Will you support Mike? I'm going to respond.
You got a text message?
Yes. I don't know how this happens. I don't know why I get these. I didn't sign up for shit.
I don't get Mike Bloomberg. He don't give a shit about my vote.
No, he don't.
My vote don't give a shit.
I'm going to respond with, I don't dabble in human politics.
Okay, that's a good one.
Have fun, Paige, with that one. Figure it out.
Mike Bloomberg doesn't want my vote. Feel the burn, baby. But getting into what we really talk about here. So WB is looking to possibly diminish Harley Quinn's role in the DCU after the Birds of Prey flop. There's been some controversy around Birds of Prey because apparently they changed the title of the movie, and they say it's for search reasons in like Fandango and stuff.
Fandango.
But now when you look up the movie, instead of it being Birds of Prey, The Emancipation of Harley Quinn, it says Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. So people are saying, maybe your marketing wasn't totally like on par. Plus, if you look at the budget for the film, so right now they're in the green.
Okay.
But it's a movie that costed between $82 to $100 million. And right now, after 2 weekends, not 1 weekend, 2 weekends. 145.3 million. So they're only, let's say they're at the high end of 100. They only made 45 million off of this film.
It's not a lot.
That ain't good.
That is not a lot.
That ain't good at all. Like, not good at all. And my question to you, and you can kind of give your thoughts on Birds of Prey also with this.
Yeah.
Should Warner Brothers pump back on the Harley Quinn? Well, is Harley Quinn not a strong enough character to hold her own solo movies? Are they going too hard into the Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie basket?
Maybe they are trying a little bit too hard with that, but you would think like she was I feel like she had a better reaction from the audience than Jared Leto did as Joker, for example.
Yeah,
she was one of the
when you're compared to shit. It's
that's true, but she was also one of the saving graces of Suicide Squad. Again. Yes.
That movie was an entire shit show in itself.
Yeah, but I mean, she's only second, maybe second, or comparably the same as Will Smith in that movie. Mm-hmm. I would say, you would think that she could have her standalone.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot of factors that come into it. So it's going to be a hard sell for, I don't want to say a hard sell, but it's going to be very hard to
kind of win back.
Her possibly getting
the Bloomberg stuff. Is that what you're laughing at? Bloomberg will get it done.
Thank you, Soapy. I agree.
But I mean,
no,
Go on.
No, I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase this. I think she could have another solo movie, but it's kind of hard sell when she didn't do so well in this one. So I thought it was better. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty good.
The thing that I saw, and I've got to pull it up here. Obviously, we've got this covered. I was looking at it.
Agreed.
Last night, apparently, what Warner Brothers might be thinking, is pump back on the Harley Quinn, and kind of do a pivot where instead of pushing Harley Quinn as the solo female role to go off of, that they might lean into Catwoman and Zoe Kravitz, who we're going to see in the Batman that we last talked about. So, for me, my thoughts on Birds of Prey, because I think that plays into it, is, was it a terrible movie? No. Was it a great movie? No. Was it a good movie? Probably. My score, I'll say it now, would have been a 3 out of 5. Actually, it is a 3 out of 5. My problems with it were, first off, I didn't like Black Mask at all. But at the same time, I'm the one that you can call this an apologist, but it's just what I think of. Who's the narrator of this story?
Harley Quinn.
So right away, at the beginning, when Harley Quinn was the narrator, my mind immediately said, take everything in this movie with a grain of salt. This is how she feels about Black Mask. Anything. I was right away. I can't trust anything that's being said, and that's not a movie fault thing. That's a character thing. Because obviously it's her retelling the story. I feel like also Birds of Prey doesn't have a lot of standing power. If you're gonna, I almost feel like if you're gonna make a Harley Quinn movie, make a Harley Quinn movie. Don't try to make a Birds of Prey movie and then say, well, we need somebody to bring the marketability up. Oh, let's put Harley Quinn in it. Because it almost felt like a Birds of Prey movie that was hijacked by Harley Quinn. Am I wrong?
It kind of was.
That's what it was. Where we didn't really get to see the Birds of Prey be them until the very end.
Well, she almost it's like she accidentally
put them together. Yeah,
created the Birds of Prey.
Yeah, which is not how it is in the comics at all.
I don't read them, so.
I also feel like maybe it's an oversaturation of Harley Quinn at the moment because not only did we get this movie, but the DC Universe app has a Harley Quinn animated series right now. So it's right now, you had that Harley Quinn. You have this Harley Quinn. With me, the movie was just kind of it was it was a pretty good movie. It wasn't great, wasn't bad, but it's I almost feel like they thought that just because Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn was in it, people were going to flock to it. When maybe we all just not overhyped Harley Quinn, but where in Suicide Squad, when everything else was so bad, it kind of brought her up a little bit more. Not saying that she was bad as Harley Quinn. She was great as Harley Quinn. She was herself as Harley Quinn, which you expected from a Margot Robbie role. Would probably be my show stealer. Would be my show stealer
no,
if
she
I
is
did
the
it.
Same.
But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Where maybe Warner Brothers thought they had something. They had more than what they had with Harley Quinn. What do you think about my rambling? Because I kind of went on a little bit of a ramble there.
I quite enjoyed the film. It was a fun ride. I kind of compare it to a DC's Deadpool per se.
She was very Deadpool-esque.
Yeah, and I liked that in this quality because I can see her being the one that most go along with that kind of route. I can't see many other characters in the DC universe being goofy enough to go along with that kind of demeanor. So I kind of enjoyed the route it took. I enjoyed all the little, like Dave was pointing out when we got out of the theater, like all the kind of little... like hints at other movies.
Dave nitpicks though.
Oh, too. I know, but I'm saying I liked all the little
like the references
to other movies, little references to like things in the DC comic book and other universes that
because he was saying like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, like all of these other movies,
hints to all that stuff, and I'm like, I enjoyed that because she's probably a pop culture queen if you think about the character, and her telling of the story. That shit's going to be in there.
Or exactly. Makes it exciting.
Yeah, and like I agree. And after you pointed out, it didn't occur to me. All the males were bad guys because she just had. And spoilers, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Give you a second if you want to mute us, and then I'll just I don't know. Clap twice when I'm done with this spoiler.
We'll do our normal. So if you're listening on podcast services around the world and haven't seen it, tough luck because you can't see, but I'll put a timestamp down below maybe.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll put a timestamp down below for people who are listening so you can skip ahead and not have spoilers. But I'll do this.
When we're done.
Yeah. For those of you watching on YouTube or Twitch, I will hold up 2 fingers, probably like this. Yeah, just like this because I'm lazy and my hand's going to get tired. Once we're done, you're done with spoilers, I'll put my fingers down. Okay. Like... it'll be down like this when we're done.
Okay, so spoiler time. So when what was I gonna say now? I forgot where I was at.
The Joker and Harley break up.
Oh, so Joker and Harley break up. There's this whole thing where all the guys are gonna be bad because she's not liking men right now. Even the one that she thought cared about her broke her heart per se. Yeah. So it's like all dudes are going to be bad. And she especially does not like Black Mask, like you were saying. She's going to paint him in a horrible light.
Yeah. Well, painted him in a horrible light. There was also the question of, is this Black Mask, like people are asking, like, is he gay and bisexual? Like, I think was that little bit.
I think they're just going with the eccentric type thing.
Because Zaz was definitely, like, I fucking liked Zaz. But I think Harley took the Zaz qualities and amped him up to 100.
Yeah,
because he was a fucking creep, and I loved it.
He's a creep, and then there's also
he's supposed to be though.
There's also, the little thing at the end.
Very nice.
Yes, there was that little thing at the end, little nudge at the end of like, yeah, maybe he likes his boss a little too much type. Yeah, I have to protect him.
Yeah, he was very protective of Black Mask.
Yeah, so maybe she was like. Yeah, maybe they're a little like this together.
Yeah, basically. Thank you for trying to do this. Throwing in a little bit of the Harley voice there.
So that's what I'm saying. That like she's gonna paint them all and how she sees them, and I kind of liked that per se. I don't think Dave did exactly. I know you were about it.
It could also just be a movie that rubs you the wrong way. Like,
it could
that
be.
Is okay.
That's fine too. I'm just saying.
A-okay if it rubs you the wrong way.
I'm not saying that's not okay. I'm just saying how I see it.
It's really hard for me to talk and do this. Yeah. Because I talk with my hands.
I know.
And like I want to, like I'm like I can't put my hand down.
Well, I think we're done with spoilers now.
We're done.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm done.
I think we're done then.
Okay. So with Harley Quinn, we'll ask this.
Okay.
To kind of end this. First off, let's officially give our scores. As we would in a review.
I'm still struggling on that
I'm a 3 out of 5. Do you know what you would give it?
I'm between 3.5 and 4. I think I'm just going to be generous and give it 4 because I did quite enjoy the ride.
Okay. So I said 3. You said 4.
Yeah.
And then show stealer Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie. Robbie. Like, to me, there was no one else that compared. Out. Yeah. Maybe Brucey.
Maybe Brucey. I enjoyed Brucey.
He did eat a human leg.
He ate a human.
Yeah, he ate a human.
Yeah. He ate a people's.
And Soapy says, I kind of hope they make a movie of Joker and Harley meeting. You got to really get the right guy to play Joker.
Yeah. See, I agree with you to some degree, but I don't want Jared Leto back as Joker. Because they kind of
reference that in Harley Quinn Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Where, like, they mention backstory of them, but they don't go too far into it.
Yeah, I don't want Jared Leto Joker
I don't
back,
care
though.
if this is a spoiler. I'm going to say it so everyone knows. Jared Leto is not in this movie. So you don't have to worry.
That's fine.
I feel like it's a good spoiler.
I think that's a good spoiler. I think people will appreciate knowing that.
Last question I want to ask, though, about this is, if you're WB, do you diminish the role of Harley Quinn?
I wait and see. Oh, God, that's a hard question. Because it did make more than it... So it's got the part working for it where it made more than what it cost to make. So you got that working in its favor. Did it make a lot more? No. That becomes a hard question. If you can get the right storyline where you think you can sell it this time better, then I say go for it. If you're gonna try and like if you feel like you're gonna force a storyline, then I say forget it. Just put her in other movies for now. Maybe you can gain that hype back if she's in a few more movies more recently, and then maybe try to do it again. But I would say, unless you're gonna have her in some more, I'd say for now either get a good storyline or put her in other movies.
So, I'm going to tease here.
Yeah.
And this is where we are going to know a topic. We're going to know our main topic.
Yeah?
Before next week. Because I feel like I'm going to use this as the main topic.
Okay.
Kind of some breaking news here on the podcast.
Yeah.
Or I should say breaking speculation on the podcast.
I know what's going on. I didn't tell you anything until...
Well, it just got posted
build up
18 minutes ago.
He's got to build up for 8 hours.
So I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to read it. And you tell me what you think. Little snippet. We'll talk about more next week when we can do our homework on this.
Okay.
This is from We've Got This Covered.
Okay, Yankee.
There's been a lot of speculation as to whether or not Robert Downey Jr. will return to the MCU. And now that talks between the actor and the studio have apparently been paused since he's demanding too much money, the Iron Man star is seemingly taking meetings elsewhere. In fact, according to our sources, I got to skip ahead. Robert Downey Jr. has had a private discussion with Warner Brothers about a potential role in the DCEU. Ooh. My question is, and this is what we'll talk about next week. I don't know. It'll most likely be our attention grabber story because Robert Downey Jr. is huge. But here's a conversation I want to have next week so we can do our homework on this, a little speculation homework.
Okay.
Who could Robert Downey Jr. play in the DCEU? What DC character could he play?
Question.
I don't want to do it now because I have not done my homework. You have not done your homework. But I wanted to bring that up.
But all I said was it was a fantastic question.
I wanted to bring it up. It's kind of big. Holy shit, if he comes over to the DCEU, that would be big. I don't think it's a hit for Marvel.
No,
because they wrote him off, basically.
Yeah.
But holy shit, if Robert Downey Jr. is a DCEU actor, that would be huge for that. Two things in quick hits. First off, Avengers new game trailer.
Looks fantastic.
For the pre-orders. Any thoughts besides that it looks fantastic? Because I am probably going to pre-order it.
I don't know if I'm going to pre-order it, but it looks like
You don't have to. We're going to play it together.
Yeah, but
we're going to go to my home studio and we're going to play it together.
Don't I need to have my stuff to play it too?
I mean, unless we play it like past the controller style.
I thought we were going to play the team one.
We could.
But do I need to so I don't really have anything set up for the PS4 other than I was able to play God of War. Do I need to have an account?
Here's what we would do.
Like a paid account?
Here's what we would do. Ready? Here's what we would do. I would go over to Dave, and I would say, hey, Dave, you barely use your PlayStation. Can I borrow it for a little bit? Didn't I give you a PlayStation? I
have a PlayStation.
Oh, so what we could basically do
My thing I've been asking is do I have to have a paid account to play online?
I forgot I gave you my old PlayStation.
I made an account.
Yeah, so to play,
I have to have a paid account,
online, you do have to register for PlayStation Plus.
What is this horse shit?
So PlayStation Plus, I think, is $60 for the year.
This is horse shit.
But we can work that out. It's not that bad.
It's horse shit.
They have PlayStation Plus card. No, a year is less than that. A year is like $40.
Ooh.
It's 10. No.
Paige never responded, by the way.
A 1 month membership is $10. if you go online. However, it says right here, cdkeys.com. I don't know how. Yeah, I wouldn't buy from this website. Yeah, it's usually $60 for the year. That's what I thought. It's usually $60 for the entire year. Yeah, I would not trust cdkeys.com. But yeah, $60 for the year. We'll get you the money if you need to so that Johnny can play this. We will make sure you can be Thor, Johnny. I wouldn't want to take that happiness away from you.
Better not.
Hell, I didn't get you a Christmas gift. I could just fund your PlayStation Plus. And it could be your yearly Christmas gift from me is your PlayStation Plus account. Like, my point being, it's so easy that it doesn't have to be a deterrent. But yes, to play online, you need PlayStation Plus. But it looks amazing. They show a little bit more of like gameplay with Black Widow that we didn't see. We actually get to see Cap throw his shield, which looks amazing. It like bounces around the entire room. I cannot wait for that. And then the last thing, this is going to be a little longer of a quick hit, but not super long. Stranger Things. Hopper's alive.
Yeah?
I told you he wasn't dead.
Yeah, you did.
And I know you weren't saying like for sure.
Yeah.
But right when I saw it, I said, I'm like, there's no body.
You don't need a body.
Don't see a body.
To be fair, you don't need a body if the body's vaporized.
Yeah,
but
usually when there's no body, they're still alive when it comes to movies and TV. Usually that is what happens. What did Soapy say? That you said thank you, Soapy?
Oh, he also said horse shit when I was saying that it was horse shit.
Oh, yeah, horse shit. But that's going to do it for the Rick and Johnny podcast. If you're on YouTube and if you're on podcast services around the world, thank you guys for watching. Johnny, I'm going to ask you to put up our thank you for Twitch again. If you want to become a patron yourself, go to patreon.com/Roswell Podcast. Sam and Soapy, who are in Twitch chat right now, they are patrons. $1 tier, $5 tier, $10 tier. Go have yourself a fun time. You can switch back over to us. If you're on YouTube, you can also watch the show.
I think they'd rather see this than us.
Sunday mornings, usually around 10:30. We're a little bit later today. Blame me, I guess. I don't think it's really blame anybody. We were just kind of blame me. I was not as quick to setting things up. I was kind of taking my time a little bit, and we were talking about stuff. So we were a little late, but usually it's 10:30 in the morning Central Time on Sundays. But that's going to do it. Make sure to hit that sub button. Follow us on Twitter at Ricky Widmer, at War Machine 9085. And that's going to do it. Have a good day, everybody.